All right, everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for being here. I know most of you, but if I haven't met you yet, my name is Haley and I work here at the Ogden Downtown Alliance. Thank you for coming to our town hall focused on arts programming. We have a packed agenda. If you didn't get one, they are on the welcome table. So we have a few different presenters today. And I just wanted to make one announcement. If you are presenting, please speak into this microphone. It is not for projection, but we are recording this meeting so we can send it out later, and this will help us capture the audio. So thank you very much. And then we also have coffee in the back from Wasatch, and then we have some donuts from Mountain Donuts. So if you would like some snacks, feel free to hop up and grab those throughout. But without further ado, we will jump right into our first presentation from the Utah Cultural Alliance, and they will be talking about the value of creative economy. So welcome.
Thank you very much, everyone, for having me here today to speak with you about the cultural industry and the cultural economy that is here in Utah. I hope that all of you know that as we've started to rebound off of the effects of closures and various restrictions off of the pandemic, that the cultural industry has come back in a very significant way, and we hope that it continues to go along that way. And I hope that you will look at some of these statistics that I've brought for you as a sign of hope and optimism for the future. So without further ado, this is our 2021 State of UT Culture Report. So this is a document that we prepare every single year at Utah Cultural Alliance. And it maps out a lot of different areas about how the cultural industries and the cultural economy in the state of Utah impacts the overall economy within the state of Utah. So whether or not it be from economics to societal impacts to how it benefits other industries, so on and so forth, it's included in here. So I would invite you to read through it. You can also find it on our website. It is now published at utculture.org. You can find it at utculture.org. So kind of the first thing that I wanted to say was my name is Ernesto Balderas. I am the Communications Director for Utah Cultural Alliance. You can find my information on utculture.org as well, or if you have any information about this, or if you have any questions about the information that I have in this presentation, please feel free to contact me. Okay? So one of the first things that was really significant about this year is that we were able to partner with some of our partner organizations, the Salt Lake County Arts and Culture Department. We were also able to partner with the Utah Division of Arts and Museums to fund one of the first studies analyzing how exactly the cultural industry in the state of Utah impacts the Utah economy as a whole for both 2019 and 2020. So within those findings, the Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute, we were able to hire them for this analysis. And specifically as it relates to sales, in 2020, the industry generated about $9.1 billion in direct sales, which spurred an additional $8.7 billion in indirect or reduced general sales, which led to about $17.8 billion. So that is a tremendous contribution to Utah's economy. In 2019, it generated $19.3 billion, or 9.9% of Utah's 2019 GDP. So that is quite a significant portion of Utah's GDP within the economy. In addition, the cultural industry in 2020 supported about 108,560 jobs. That's in total across the entire creative economy. I also think that is remarkable, as I'm sure many of you have already heard many of the lines of, oh, what's your real job? Or are you actually going to turn that into a profession or some sort of job? We've all heard that, but I'm here today to tell you that these are real jobs that are being supported. In addition, the labor income for the creative economy within the state of Utah, we have an average income of $48,000 per year. So that is in comparison to the education sector, about $46,000, and about the utility sector, it's $49,000. So that is in comparison to those sectors as well. So it is a pretty healthy form of salary for individuals within the creative economy. I'm sure, as we're all aware, there are various improvements that need to be made, especially toward incoming and first-year employees within cultural industry organizations, but this is a great sign. And in addition, this was one of the things that the legislators on the Utah State Hill, they were very excited to hear, in that tax revenues, we actually generated about $9.1 billion in direct cultural sales, estimated about $309.1 million in direct tax revenue. And that was very good to hear, especially for our legislators that really are looking for investment within the cultural industry. We're continuing that conversation to make sure that the grant pools of the Utah Division of Arts and Museums are increased, and that we have other grant pools that are being developed in the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity and various other entities. So that is exciting news to see that, yes, the cultural industry, while it does contribute to direct sales, it also contributes direct tax revenue as well. And then lastly, the one thing that I wanted to point out is, yes, there were heavy pandemic impacts in which the cultural industry suffered about a 7.8% loss in sector sales and about a 9% drop in jobs because of various layoffs or because of closures and various restrictions that was taken into account. However, the cultural industry did bounce back, in that the jobs that were available within the cultural industry bounced back to about 0.7% above what they were in 2019 in 2020. So they did start to bounce back toward the end of the year, and that was exciting to see. I also wanted to touch a little bit on tourism, simply because tourism is it's a very big portion of what the cultural industry brings to the state of Utah. Yesterday, I was talking to the Utah Office of Tourism, and they said to me that they are very happy with what the cultural industry brings in terms of tourism to the state of Utah, and especially as it relates to out-of-state tourism. They focus on in-state tourism as well, but out-of-state tourism, they are very excited to see how the cultural industry continues to bring in out-of-state visitors. For example, we have about $569 is the average expenditure for your average party of three that comes to visit a cultural site or cultural experience, whether or not that means going to a specific performance in a theater, or going to a cultural site such as an amphitheater down in southern Utah. I know that is one of the sites that we track as well. So that is something that is tracked, and we're very happy to see that. But in addition, one of the biggest things, or one of our biggest partners, is Utah Museums Association, and they helped us to compile some of the data that we have. If you go on the Utah Division of Arts and Museums website, you'll see that they have kind of their newly updated museum database of who exactly is a museum within the state of Utah, and there are over 300 museums now just within Utah alone. And that those museums support about 2,949 employees year-round, and that is just extravagant to see how many jobs are supported by the museums here in the state of Utah. So I know that I only had 10 minutes. I have 2 minutes left. So are there any questions? I wanted to leave some time for that, so that I can ask any poignant things that you might have. Yes, please. Yes. So the 2021 State of UT Culture Report, this is available on our website at utculture.org. That's utculture.org. I also have 2 physical copies that you can peruse at your own time, and also the basic Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute report that was released as well earlier during this year. What else?
Anything you want to share about Utah moving forward, like what the plans are?
Mm-hmm.
Coming up for the art sector?
Sure. So I can't say too much about what we're thinking of in terms of the funding level on on the Hill, just because there are conversations that are happening that are a little tenuous. People are disagreeing with one another, so I don't want to overstep the boundaries. But I can say that one of the things that we are focusing on for this session is ticket fraud and the amount of fraud that it is present within the secondary ticket purchase market, in which individuals go to purchase tickets. And you have 5 different individuals purchasing the exact same ticket, and then the first person only gets that ticket when they arrive at the box office, and the latter 4 people are left to hang out dry. That is a very serious problem that is contained within the cultural industry, and we're working to create some legislation to go with that. Well, we're excited to continue to be your voice for the cultural industry on Capitol Hill and other areas such as the federal legislature as well. I'm taking over that responsibility, speaking with Blake Moore, with Congressman Stewart, all of them to make sure that we are included within the federal landscape as well as the state landscape. So I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Amazing information so far. Who's pumped? Me. Next up, we have some updates from Ogden City Arts. So Lori will be coming up, and then Leon will be speaking as well. So I'm excited to hear more from them.
Good morning, everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm Lori Buckley, and I'm the arts coordinator for Ogden City, and I'm here to represent a little bit and tell you a little bit about what the city does on the arts and culture side to help promote visitation and to be a resource and a source of support for local businesses and creatives. So, our main goal or our mission actually for Ogden City Arts is to make sure that the community is inspired and engaged by arts programming, and so we as a city entity focus more so, we have a little bit of programming, but more so on how we can support you. So we have several different support options, which is financial through the art grants, through special events, with permitting processes for if you're having a public event and inviting people, even if it's out on the sidewalk in front of your businesses. This is what we're here to do. We're here to help you. We're here to help you market. If you participate with First Friday Art Stroll, we help you market to help bring more people into your business, or to help you, support your business if you have a creative sector business. So we have several public spaces that we manage, and these are should be resources for you to use. The city has taken over management of the Ogden Union Station. There's a lot of space in that big building. It's a work in progress, but we would like to see it activated more, and we're happy to work with you to help you hold events there, classes, anything that will help your business. If you're having a festival or anything like that, we would be happy to help you figure out how to work through the event process or application process, reserving the space for you to use. It's a really great space for, it's like a neutral space that people feel comfortable entering, and it's beautiful in there, and there's all different sizes of rooms that you can use, so make sure you keep that in mind. Let me finish. Dumpke Arts Plaza. We officially opened that plaza in December of last year, and then winter came, and then road closures came, as we all know. So we are just getting the road to the north of the plaza is now open, so it is accessible, and the plaza extension, which is the little section of Ogden Avenue between the plaza and the Monarch Building, will be done, they're telling me by August 10th, so fingers crossed that construction companies are correct. But that is a great outdoor space. If you have any sort of event or thing that is arts-based, so if you have a busker coming along with you, or you're having a small concert, poetry readings, any sort of art space, that is a really fantastic space to use. There's a sound system, lighting, and then all the things that you could need to hold a small outdoor event. And then, of course, the Ogden Amphitheater is there for your use. You can use the plaza out front, which is out on the street, or the space inside the plaza for larger events, and we even sometimes have small events there as well. So keep those in mind as well, that they're accessible to you, the city manages those spaces, and so we can help you through the process of using those spaces to help promote your businesses. I'm going to give you a quick update about public art, which is my favorite part of my job. We have several projects that are going on and have just finished. We have a new project coming online where the corner kiosk is, which is another great resource for you that I forgot to add on here, but let me just tell you a little about it. The corner kind of functions as a small visitor center of sorts. You can promote your events or your businesses there if you have little flyers and things. A lot of visitors go to that building and ask what there is to do in Ogden. So if you have things that you would like to have, little handouts or something that you would like to give to the corner, we're happy to hand those out for you. We can sell tickets there. There is Ogden merchandise there for purchase, and of course snacks. So that plaza around there is getting updated, and as part of that, a piece of public art is getting put on the corner of 25th Street and Washington Boulevard. And timeline on that is to be determined. We had some issues with construction timelines and the art getting revised a little bit, but we're getting back online with that. So I'm hoping to have that done by the end of the year, but it might be spring. But remember that corner plaza is a great resource for you. It'll have a pinup wall when it's done, so you can hang posters up for your events, for classes that you offer, or anything like that. The BRT project is, as we all know, happening because there's construction everywhere. That is going to spread public art throughout the city. It will start at the Front Runner Station and go up through the junction across Washington, up 25th Street, across Harrison, and through Weber State and end at the hospital. Each station will have art on the glass. We did a public art call and there's 13 stations and also 13 different pieces of artwork that will be spread throughout the city, and we're super excited to see how that turns out. The Dumpke Arts Plaza, as I spoke before, is completed. The plaza extension will be completed in August, and that will have rotating large sculpture displays that Weber State will help program. And then we can, of course, organically program it as a community with performances, readings, buskers. The Ogden Avenue Plaza extension will easily be able to be closed. There'll be bollards with a cable that will just close off the road. Of course, we do a special event permit so the police know why we're closing the road. And then it's a great space to hold events. And then the last project we finished was the Don Ray Mix murals. I don't know if, hopefully you've all seen it along Grant Avenue. And Don Ray Mix is an international artist that is from Puerto Rico that came in and completed those 5 murals to beautify our city. Creative programming, a little bit about what we do besides support support you as businesses and community members. Of course, we have the Ogden Twilight concerts. This year we have 1 down and 9 to go, all packed into August and September. So we're excited for those. We love, it brings so many people to our little town here. Actually, more ticket sales come from Salt Lake and out of, we've actually sold tickets in almost all of the states. We track where they're being bought at. So it's bringing in a lot of visitors to Ogden, which should help your businesses with people eating at restaurants or just wandering in and checking things out. So that's a great thing, and then it's putting Ogden on the map. People are realizing what an amazing place this is, so Twilight is a great resource for the city. First Friday Art Stroll. If you have a business that's that you would like to participate, we're happy to help you. This is a great way to market, bring people in your doors if you have a space and you would like to host an artist every month. It's a fantastic program. We do a lot of the work for you. We even have a local artist database that you can go and scroll down and email them and say, would you like to be my artist for this month? So many artists have a lot of work they would love to show. You don't have to pay them. It's just a great way for them to get out there. They can try to sell their pieces during their art stroll. And we market, we do press releases. for that. So that's a great resource for you. You can reach out to us. There's some emails at the end that I'll give you to reach out with interest in that, but it goes year-round, winter, rain or shine, we hold that art stroll. So it's great to support our local creatives, but also a great way to bolster your business. We also have a couple other programs that are more creative-based, and we hold those at the Union Station. We have the Community Art Show, and it's a newer program that we started during the pandemic. The Community Art Show is free to participate for any artist that lives in Utah at any age and any skill level. So it's really great. We've had a lot of children participate, and we allow most forms of art, so 3D, two-dimensional, even poetry, and we do themed shows. Like right now, the nature show is up, and if you go into the lobby of the Union Station, it's usually placed there. Sometimes back in Gallery 51 if there's too many events that will coincide with it. But that is a fantastic way to bring the community together. So if you know any creatives, your children love to do art or anything, make sure they participate that. It happens quarterly. The next one will go up September 3rd, and so that call will be released probably within the next week or two. We usually promote that over social media and Facebook. We do a press release about it. So if you can follow along Ogden City Arts on Facebook or Ogden_Arts on Instagram, you can keep up with all the open things and things that you can participate with that. We also have partnered with the Utah Arts Alliance program called Connect. So Connect is held in Salt Lake once a month, but up here quarterly. I believe we do it quarterly. And that is a program also for artists. They can participate for free. They bring 2 pieces of art to this event. They usually have sometimes professional development or an activity or a speaker there. The pieces are displayed. The community that attends can vote, and the artists can vote for winners. So there's usually 3 winners. Those winners of all of them, they're all entered at the end of the year in December. They have their finals, and Utah Arts Alliance has grant money that is given out to those artists, and it will help them buy supplies or keep going with their creative ventures. So it's a really great program that any of you can participate with. We could also look at having any of you come and speak to the artists if that's something that's related to your business. So please reach out to me if that's something you'd like to participate with. Other resources. Arts Grants. Arts Grants is a great resource. We have general and project support grants. General support grants are more tailored to an arts-based organization that's a nonprofit. So if you run something like that, know that those funds are there available for you to apply for. You have to do, it's usually great for like Echoes Community Arts Center or Chamber Orchestra Ogden, On Stage Ogden, businesses like that. The project support grant, though, is a special grant that we're very lucky to have here in the city. A lot of cities don't offer this for their communities. It is a grant that you can apply for as an individual artist, or you can apply for as a for-profit business. And those grants they run on a cycle, so they run with the city cycle. So your cycle that you do your grant project in is July 1st to June 30th of each year. So this year, we just entered in the new cycle. People apply in January. So January to February's application for that, starting in July through June. This is confusing, but hopefully I'm making sense. But you just have to do an arts-based project within the city that benefits the city. So if you're wanting to do a mural on the side of your building and you're involving the community, if you would like to offer some sort of art classes or some sort of activity, a performance, this is a source of financial money that actually goes into your pocket to help you do these things. It's split into 2 payments, so you do have to have some of your own money or another, say, ramp money involved, so it's matched with the money, so you get half of it up front and half when you give me your final report. But it is fantastic. We have $150,000 that goes out into the community to support the creative sector. We're really excited about all the things that we are able to help support, like Amir's Day of the Dead Festival, and he applies for money for that, and that's a fantastic event that happens in the fall each year. Usually on, was it November 1st, Amir?
It's the 29th of October.
29th of October this year. But they have music and food and all about the Hispanic culture, and I think it's a fantastic example of what those art grants go towards. Then we have special events. Oh, one more thing about arts grants. If you receive an art grant, we have a special bonus that we do to help our grantees. They are able to lease the space or rent the space at the amphitheater or the Dumpke Arts Plaza at the nonprofit rate. So that helps you have your grant money stretch a little bit further. You know, you can use it more to pay your performing artists or your programming needs that you are trying to pay for your event. So remember that. The nonprofit rates, I think 35% discount is quite a big discount on those rental fees. Okay, special event permits, as we all know. If you have a public event, if you're inviting people to any event at a park, outside of your business, on the, on 25th Street, on the sidewalk, you have to do a special event permit just so the city knows, and we can help you through the logistical, sometimes nightmare planning event can be. But we're here to help you. Ashley Bockwell is a special event guru, and she can help you through all the steps. She can help you if you're trying to close the road for an event. She can help you with if you need insurance and all these questions that you may have. If you have an idea in mind that you are wanting to do, she is your girl, and we are here to help you through that. And then the community calendar is available to you. We have a community calendar that lives on the Arts, Culture, and Events landing page. This is a free calendar for you to use that many people go to look for anything. Local artisan collective posts all of their classes and things there. The Monarch posts things there. There's many events there that's free for you to use. You just submit your event right on our website, or your classes, or say you're having a grand opening or something and you have a busker coming. We can add that to the community calendar, and a lot more eyes will see that. Helps your marketing dollar go a lot farther. So I think that's about it. Any of you have any questions about anything I talked about? Yes.
On the community calendar, as a member of local arts collective, I'm a newer member, sometimes things just never get approved. Is there anything that we should do specifically to make sure those applications?
My apologies for that. We have been a little shorthanded. We've actually in the process of hired some assistants and some help that will help us manage, because we do get a lot of requests. I know Ashley's trying to manage that along with 300 special event permits and all the other things that she has to do. That kind of falls in Ashley's realm, but she has a new assistant. That should speed up, and those should be up, and I will talk to her about that and see what we can do to help her make sure that those do get approved. Yeah. Sometimes if they come through, if there's not an image, and this is something that's very important, to keep the calendar looking good, we ask that you submit an image along with your event. That helps the calendar be more engaging, and it looks, it helps people draw their attention to your event. And that might be why it's not getting approved if there's no images along with your submission. Reach out to me. You can email me at lorib@ogdencity.com, and we'll look into that and see what's going on with that. What? Oh, who is? You are? Oh, and Kim just said that Ogden Downtown Alliance has talked about doing a class on using Trumba, and so hopefully that goes forward and they can help you through the process of how to navigate that back end and how to submit your events to it's called Trumba. That's the community calendar, so that's the technical term for it. So.
And Lori, just one of the benefits of that too is it does get uploaded and shared through the Ogden Downtown Alliance, through the Ogden, through a lot of other community resources. So
Yeah. It goes, it's surprising how many people see that, so it's a really good resource. Any? Oh, the Arts Committee. Well, that's, a big piece. So we have a community committee that they're called the Arts Advisory Committee. A couple, like Leon sits on it right over here. He is the chair for Nine Rails Creative District. It's 16 community members who represent different genres of art or at-large members. They are who are advocating for the arts here. They advise and help us select public art. They help us review all the arts grants. They do selections for the Mayor's Awards, which, by the way, nominations are open. If you know a local creative that is deserving of recognition, the Mayor's Awards is open right now. It's easy process to submit. It's the nomination forms found on the website under Mayor's Awards. But that committee, volunteer committee, puts in a lot of hours to help advocate and make sure that the community, the Ogden community, receives really well-rounded and robust arts programming for you. So I'd like to thank the Arts Advisory Committee for all their work. Oh, Todd's here too. Todd, past chair. So if you're interested in serving on that committee, there's a process through the website that you can apply. It's an application through the city website where you look at all the committees and it says apply to be on a committee, and you can select Arts Advisory Committee. And as members, as we cycle through members, you have the option to be a part of that committee and see all the work that's done. It's really a fun committee. You get to do a lot of, really cool, vibrant, fun, exciting things. And the things they do are really changing the face of Ogden. So we're very thankful for those community members. I have 2 emails up here. arts@ogdencity.com goes to me and my assistant Kat here, and then special events goes to Ashley and her assistant. So if you have questions with events or if you have questions with arts, please feel free to reach out. I'm so happy to help you at any time with anything you need. Is there anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lori. I will turn the time over to Leon now.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? My name is Leon. I am a local artist here in Ogden, Utah. Bear with me because I haven't presented in front of a lot of people in a really long time, so I appreciate your patience. I'm here to talk with you about the power of connection and collaboration. Through collaborating, I've gotten to meet a lot of amazing members of the community, and I've gotten to work with a lot of amazing artists. And it has really impacted my career, and I'm here to kind of chat with you a little bit about it. It's going to be pretty quick, I promise. When you collaborate with other people, you can share ideas, you can get inspired, and you can learn. Through collaborating, you can create a connection that would develop into a relationship if you nurture it. Clear communication and a mutual passion can create revolutionary work that will impact your immediate environment. Collaborating encourages problem solving, learning, and productivity. Now, I know that working as a team sometimes can be a little dreadful, but that's where a lot of accountability comes in. Me plus you equals us, which I like to explain it as I could pick up somebody and help them get up from the floor, but if I have somebody else with me, we can do it much easier. And if you have a community, you can truly lift up a lot more. This is just a little joke that I threw in. A big record label gathered Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Andre 3000 to collaborate on a new song. Eminem said, "I'll perform." Dr. Dre said, "I'll promote." And Andre 3000 said, "All right, all right, all right, all right, all right." So what does a successful collaboration look like? When 2 or more people are able to bring a project or idea into fruition, and all parties involved feel proud about the project, then you have a successful collaboration. For this to happen, a genuine relationships or connection needs to be established where clear communication, honesty, trust, and respect can help relationships be strong. A personal connection, it might help you reach through outside of your immediate circle. You might know somebody that can help you with whatever problem or task you're trying to achieve. A shared vision or a goal needs to be in place, otherwise you will pull in 2 different directions. We can move on to the next one. In the summer of 2020, I had my very first collaboration where we hosted ciphers. Now, is anybody here familiar with a cipher? I'm glad if you are. Yeah, so Cypher is essentially an open mic for rappers. We hosted over at Origin Alley. We opened up that space. We brought in sound. We brought mics, microphones. I was recording. And we allowed that space for people to come in and perform their rap verses, ultimately, over the instrumentals that we provided. For a lot of these artists, it was their very first time performing outside of their house, outside of their room. Some of them haven't even performed anywhere for anybody. They're like, this is just something that I've always done in the shower. They really came in, and there were others that were a lot more experienced. There were others that had already concerts and things like that. I'm pretty happy and proud of this because now we have a lot of artists that actually opened up for a lot of really big hip-hop artists in the scene. They have performed for over 1,000 people now, and they started with just performing for like the 5 of us that were there. So it's pretty cool. Okay, move on to the other one. Also, around that time, I started doing a lot of sketches of buildings around here, and I just did it to help. I was just like, this is something that I wanted to help, I wanted to do. And by doing this, I actually got to know a lot of business owners in the area because they were like, hey, this is really cool. Thank you for doing this. And I actually created a connection with a lot of them. I got to meet Lefty from Wimpy and Fritz. And funny thing about that, I'll tell you a little bit more later. Okay, so some of them even commissioned me to do artwork for them as well. Around that time, I also ended up doing the 2020 annual report for ODA. Thank you very much, Kim. And that's just something that also helped me get a little bit more experience on the professional aspect of things. I was able to understand how a professional relationship could look like, and it helped me. Because before, it was just like, hey, do you want to draw me something? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. But this felt a little bit more organized, and it felt like it was for something else, which it was. And it was an awesome experience, so thank you very much. Fast forward to 2021, I started a project called OGTV, which is essentially an interview, and we give a platform for a lot of our local artists to come in, tell their story, tell us who they are, and we do a music video at the end. Or if they're a visual, we collaborate with another audio artist, and then we create something together. This literally is collaboration all through it all, so it helps build a community all together. These are just some of the artists that we have featured on there. I got to meet Don Rymix through it all. When he was around, I got to interview him and meet him and hang out with him. And these are all just Rich Ramos. There's a lot of artists in here that I've gotten to meet, which I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the connections and relationships that I created through collaborating. It really helped me expand my network, and it helps you expand your mind, and it motivates you through it all. For me, collaboration is core to innovation, and that is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Leon. Next up, we have Amir here from Nurture the Creative Mind to give an update on the Creative Academy. So welcome, Amir.
Okay. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Are you guys familiar with Baptist churches? Okay. So like when there's a call and response, right? The energy for the preacher comes from the energy of the audience. So let's try that again. How y'all doing? Good. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Where we all began, where Nurture the Creative Mind began. We've been around for about 15 years. We began in a single room at Lincoln Elementary in Davis County. The idea at that point in time was exposure, period. To be honest with you, I had no vision beyond this one class. So I just wanted to work with young people and expose them to the arts and the benefits of that. From that poetry class, we started doing more poetry classes in more schools and elementary schools in Davis County. Next slide, please. I wanted to at that point in time because we were me before we became an organization, but at that point in time, I wanted to expand beyond the exposure, and I wanted to take the impact that I saw in the classroom and put it out within the community, right? I wanted to multiply that impact. So poetry became painting a the United States mural at a basketball court at Odyssey Elementary, and then we worked at the Road Home where we did a mural with the kids at the homeless shelter. And so really it was just expanding that impact. And the idea behind that is poetry. The reason why I did poetry in the first class is because that's what I connected with, right? Writing and expression was something that helped me manage my emotions and also explore some of the creative elements that I was looking to explore. And I could do that quietly, like within my own space. But oddly enough, not every kid connects with poetry. Not every kid thinks poetry is cool. I know that's weird, but so I started to think about what other ways can we connect with young people, and so we started doing multiple things. Next slide, please. Then beyond that, I wanted to expand our impact. I did this on Keynote on my iMac, and it's definitely not transferring, but let's just look at that as creativity at work, right? Expanding our impact. From the classroom and then from the other things that we were doing, I thought about how can we expand our impact within the community, but also expand our impact in the ways young people connect through with creativity. So the piano project was a way for us to do that. To be honest with you, the piano project was completely selfish. It was not about the community, it was about the young people within our organization and us forcing those young people on you. So, thank you. And then we did a radio show with Weber State, and we produced what I think and what I believe is Utah's first youth-driven magazine, art magazine. It was called Blank Page. The young people, we had an editorial team, we had the journalists and the writers, we had the artists, photographers, et cetera, were all young people. The reason why that program went away is because of funding, but the idea is that we just wanted to, at this point, nurture the creative mind, just trying to figure out how many different ways can we connect with young people within the community. And what we realized and figured out is that it's an infinite amount of ways. When you are exploring creativity, there's really no dead end. If you allow there to be possibilities, there are possibilities. Okay, so in the beginning we were exposure, and then we wanted to expand, but where we're at currently and what I wanted to talk to you about today was we want to be in a space of applied excellence. Rather than it just being exposure and experience, we want the young people in our program, by the time that they leave, to have a very internship-like experience within Nurture the Creative Mind. My goal is that by the time you leave Nurture the Creative Mind, you would have, in these fields, right, that I'm gonna go into, it would be like going to a university for 2 years and having that type of experience. And so, next slide, what does that look like? And what do I mean by that? So here's a photography class, and the photos that you see, this is one of the students, his name is Ethan Wintle, and what you see are photos that Ethan Wintle took. So these are quality, professional grade photography, taught by a professional photographer, Ben Zach, within the community, and Ethan was actually paid to participate, right? So he's learning not only the skill set and getting the experience in a real world setting, he actually is getting paid for that experience. And so what this does is it establishes value for the young person that is participating in this program, but it's also establishing value to the people, the clients, right? That young people are as valuable as anybody else. It's not necessarily about the age. You don't start respecting, valuing young people when they start paying taxes, right? Like, they are valuable at the onset. Next slide, please. Oh, snap, my video is missing. Anyway, so this is Izzy. Izzy is, she's a multifaceted creative. She does photography, she does video work, she does painting, but this is her in her DJing capacity. And I had a really cool video of her DJing at a school dance, but the point is that Izzy was actually paid to DJ at school dances, but not just school dances. She was paid to DJ at the amphitheater, et cetera, et cetera. So once again, her skill set or her education is being applied and compensated. Next slide. Yes, it's a DJing program, so sorry. Oh, yeah, so sorry. It's the Nurture the Creative Mind. Oh, there's the video. Okay, there's a picture. There's a picture. Yeah, man. So this is the videography class, and once again, these are young people who are learning from professionals the skill set of videography. And then the beautiful thing is about this is that, like, Christian Scheller is a local musician. Christian, participating in this program, gets the content that he needs to, promote himself as an artist. And then young people are getting the experience. So as Leon was saying, it's like collaboration from top to bottom. Everybody benefits, everybody wins. Next slide. So $6,500. $6,500 is how much these kids got paid in a year. So most of that money, like the greater portion of that, is Izzy. From her DJing from her DJing gigs, she got paid about $2,200, and then she was contracted by the Weber Archery Range to do some murals, and she was paid $1,000 for that. So this is a young person who was 16, 17 years old in the program and was making thousands of dollars from her art craft. And for those who are artists in this room, if you can remember the first time you made $1,000 from your art, right? Like, I think most of us would say, well, some of us might be like, well, I haven't yet made $1,000. But this young person at 16, 17,
Hi, I'm Jessica Marine. I work at ODA. I'm the Arts and Events Coordinator. Here at ODA, we recognize the importance of the arts, not only to the extent of bringing it to the surface, but also in making sure those artists are paid for their work and bringing free art opportunities to the community through our events. This year, we've completed several projects with local artists. Thanks to RAMP and sponsor funding, we paid several artists for our spring banner call that referenced how the city's artists view Ogden. We were able to create our first ever coloring book that featured artwork by Leon, as you saw him earlier, to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the historic 25th Street Car Show. We also had the Eccles Community Art Center sponsor a plein air competition, and this was their second year doing that. We took the plein air winner from last year and we used their image for the poster for this year, so we intend to do that moving forward. We've been working with the city to try to pinpoint and update some ordinances that need changed to help make the Make Ogden plan more achievable. And then we also went to the Culture Connect conference in Salt Lake and learned how to break down some of those barriers. Coming up, we have the Harvest Moon Festival. For that, we're working with a local artist to create artwork for the poster, and he will also be creating a portable mural that will be a photo op at the Harvest Moon Festival. And then we're also working with several other community groups to bring free art projects to the Ogden community at the festival. We're also working on a rooftop movie project with a local person who came to us with this concept, and we're helping support him and make that dream come to light for him. That's it.
Did you beat some beats?
I did at the thing.
Oh.
Also coming up, we've got Beats and Beats. That's going to be on July 30th. And if you're interested in being a part of that, that's going to be a live painting where you paint your version of our Farmers Market Ogden beat. And if you're interested in that, just email me at jessica@ogdendowntown.com. Subject line, Beats and Beats. Thanks.